Okay, let's walk through our migrated PiVision displays. So once we are at our PiVision homepage, we can see that we have our set of new PiVision displays. We also have a process book folder under Home. If we click there into that folder, we can see we have the two subfolders, Flynn and IT. And this structure matches the folder structure we had on our machine for the PiProcessBook displays. We will start in the IT folder with the PyData Archive monitoring display. If I click the gear icon for that display, I can see the display settings, and it does have the right owner and sharing settings that we set in the migration utility. I'll close out of the display settings and click on the display to open it. And here we have our migrated display. We are going to answer the same questions using our PiVision display now, and we do see that these values are updated, except the header information is incorrect, so we will resolve that in the next exercise. Unflushed events in the write cache, in the upper right we can see there are about 140 unflushed events now. The point count in the base subsystem, that should be the same, and yes, it is 1,726 points. The approximate peak of the Pi server CPU over the last 20 minutes. Again, we're going to look at our CPU trend, and we can double-click the trend to expand it. If we open it up, we can see the time range is 1 hour. To change that, we will go into the start time and change it from -1H to -20M. Clicking out of that, we can see our peak for the last 20 minutes is about 6%. And we can put a marker here to get a better estimate of the value with the timestamp of when that occurred. I'll close out of that trend, and if we wanted to see the exact max value instead of an approximation, we can right-click the trend and select Add Selection to Ad Hoc, and click Show Ad Hoc in the upper right to get another maximized trend along with summary statistics at the bottom. Again, we will need to change our time range to the last 20 minutes, and then we have the actual peak maximum, which is 5.9%. I'll close out of the ad hoc window and go to our Flynn displays by first clicking on PiVision in the top left to go back to the home page, and this time I'm going to go into the Flynn folder. Again, I can click on the gear icon in one of these displays to verify the display settings are good. Close out of the display settings window and open up the PG Flynn Home display. And I'll look at the other Flynn displays using the navigation links here. First, we'll look at our plant view. So we have a similar display here as in PiProcessBook. And if Flynn 1 is shown, we can switch to plant Flynn 2 by using the asset dropdown. On the display now, the penstock flow for Flynn 2 is 39.65 meters cubed per second. We can also see in the Flynn River Hydro power section of the display, there is some missing data. So this was the data sets that existed in PiProcessBook. So we will take a look at how we can replace that data in a later exercise. Just keep in mind that information is missing. Next, we will go back to the home display. Open up the generation unit display. And we can use the asset dropdown to see which has the highest power generated. So when we switch through, we can see the values changing when we select different assets. And from this, we can see that GU4 has the highest power generated. Then back to home, we are going to go to the generator display. and take a look at which generator has the lowest oil level. Clicking through the different assets in the drop-down, we can see that the GU4 generator has the lowest oil level at 33.08 liters. Finally, we will go to our turbine display using the link and look at the GU3 turbine. Double-click the water pH intake value to see a trend over the last 8 hours. Here we can add a trend marker to get an approximate peak over the last 8 hours of 7.43. If you have any questions or ran into any issues with this exercise on reviewing migrated PiVision displays, please share in the following poll.